Hi, it's Eddie from Weedy Tropicals, coming to you today with just a really quick video on what I think looks absolutely fantastic in August in a tropical style garden. We're just going to feature probably 4 or 5 plants and then kind of run from there. If you want to see the full garden, I have done a garden tour as well, which I'll link in the end of the video. The very first things first is this crocosmia. I'll try and find the actual name of this one. I put it in the ground knowing that it was going to be Lucifer, but as when you buy any kind of bulbs and things like that, they're often missold online, not even intentionally, it's just they all look the same. So I put those in the ground thinking they were going to be Lucifer. It's grown really well actually. It's about 4 or 5 foot tall. I have got another Lucifer that looks remarkably more red than that one, but still an absolute fantastic plant, so more than happy with that one. The giant plant next to it looks incredible, and this is sized up I'd say 10 times this year. It's Euphorbia, John Phillips. Not only is it evergreen, the foliage on it is absolutely fantastic. As you can see here, earlier in the year it did have a flower spike, which is the first time it's ever had flowers on it, and the smell from that thing was absolutely incredible. Probably planted that looking at it now in the wrong place. However, I'll enjoy it whilst it's still there now, and then maybe take some cuttings and move it maybe next year when I extend the border out. I always feature this last, and to be honest, it's my favourite thing in the garden. This is the Musa Basjoo. This thing looks incredible from the start of the season when it's unwrapped right until the very end. It's got to be, I'd say, at least 10 or 12 feet. Thought it might have gone to flower this year, like going create bananas, but not quite. But the wingspan on this is incredible. If you look at the size of the fronds on that, so nearly, if not 2 meters across. It's wicked from where you sit in the garden to have that canopy hanging over as much as that, and I don't think I could have put that in a better place. So Musa Basjoo, absolute star of the garden. Coming in second place just for the size really, with the bananas. Certainly first place in looks, the leaves. I don't think you can beat the coloration on these leaves. They're fantastic, absolutely beautiful. So that's the Musa succulensis. What else looks incredible this time of year is dahlias. I think this is probably the best month for dahlias in my opinion. They look absolutely incredible. Completely facing away from the sun, that one, but again another one just starting now. The colour on these really looks beautiful. Cannas as well. Not only is the seed pod attractive on them, but the actual flowers on them are absolutely fantastic as well, with those rich reds that I've got in there, as well as the mango pink coloration on the side of the leaves as well. So cannas are an absolute top pick for this time of year. Staying in a very similar theme is Hedychiums, and you don't run the risk of Canna virus with the Hedychiums. Grow really tall, probably got 3 foot on these. These are more of the dwarfy type anyway, I think. Flowers, fragrant, all the rest of it. So I'll be growing a lot more Hedychiums, which is the ornamental gingers from next year. One to add with the cannas is Canna Cleopatra, which is by far my favourite canna out there, with every leaf looking completely different. I think it's very hard to beat the look of that canna. Absolutely gorgeous. Does need to be dug up or have some type of protection put over the top of it through winter, but for the sake of keeping that plant in my garden, I'll absolutely dig that up. I haven't got much that I need to do that with, but for slight inconvenience every year, it's definitely worth having. Again in here, the Colocasia pink china. This time of year looks incredible. The coloration on the stems is fantastic. And these plants are fully hardy, absolutely bone hardy in my experience. However, the leaves are not. So what that means is the leaves, as soon as they hit frost, will die back right to the ground, which will leave a bare patch over winter, but they'll flush again in the spring. It's almost an essential, I would say, with anyone's tropical garden. Got the one at black, which is, I think, Black Magic. Bit of a cheat code for the garden is the Trachycarpus fortunei, because that thing looks good 12 months of the year. It's not even an August exclusive. That thing just looks amazing all the time. I'm sticking back with things that look great in August. The Persicaria on the front as well. I think with the coloration on that and the fact that it's a ground cover hides it all, looks fantastic. The Gunnera, this is Tinctoria, was sold as Manicata, as pretty much 99% of all of them were. Looks incredible. I've cut this back several times because it's an absolute monster and was taking over absolutely everything. So this is like it's shooting again. Definitely not a friendly one, looking at the stem. And even the leaves are pretty brutal as well, but it does look great around the pond area. And very finally, I'll give the bamboo a shout out as well. Wicked for screening. It's flushed again this time of the year, so it looks really good. Earlier in the year, it gets really straggly when it drops all of its leaves and kind of sheds again, and you always have that worry that it's dead. A couple of months later, it absolutely flushes and looks absolutely fantastic. This one is a Fargesia, so it's a clumping bamboo. I still have mine in the bucket because I just don't trust any of them. It's in a very large container. Absolutely fantastic. And then very finally, biggest grass that I grow, which is the Miscanthus giganteus. Just to put it into context, that is the size of that thing. It's huge. I'm about 5'10". It's probably about 7 foot tall. I love the fact that it's got the movement with it as well. So when it's moving around in the wind, it looks absolutely incredible, as well as being wicked for screening, whether it's neighbours. I use it to try and get rid of the fence and stuff as well. So that was just a really quick tour of the kind of key shout outs for an August garden. Of course, there's an absolute million that you could have chosen. I've still got loads to plant in the garden, so don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to be clearing out my greenhouses and filling out the garden, as well as put any suggestions and I think things that would go well in my garden as well, because I don't know absolutely every plant, as you can imagine. So give me a couple of shout outs of things that I could put in the garden as well. Thanks for watching.